Hey everybody, Carrie Cox here. I'm just wanting to talk today about metabolism. I'm pretty sure I've hit this conversation a few times, but there's a lot of feels like same things kind of come up over and over again. So people tend to put on weight and feel like, okay, I'm just eating too much. My metabolism slowed down, so I just need to stop eating as much. So there is a reality that yes, we have a lot of food available to us, easy access, so we can overconsume. The next problem is that we do not get up and move. But some of this can be looking at what are we eating, because we do need calories to just keep the body in good health. There is a minimum amount of calories just keep the processes happening and you digesting appropriately. If you're doing nothing else, there's a certain amount of calories you need for that. And oftentimes, I think because we have things at easy access, we're going for the quick digestion. Things are going to make us feel good, highly processed, lots of chemicals on our foods, and that can just create more havoc in the body. And so sometimes, first and foremost, with metabolism, we need to look at what we're eating. But I want to talk about digestion's role in the metabolism. So oftentimes, if you're feeling like you're overeating and you just start eating less, it's not going to speed up your metabolism. It reduces what you're intaking, and the metabolism actually slows because it's trying to conserve to keep you alive. And if you do not eat enough, it's just going to keep slowing, and slowing what it's expending energy on and storing because it feels like you're in a famine that it needs to protect itself. So there is a method to creating metabolism moving. But the thing is that I want to really hit home is your digestion and its impact on the metabolism. So if my digestion isn't working appropriately, I'm essentially eating foods, yet still starving to death. My stomach acidity not being there, it's not triggering the rest of the digestion happening. My bacteria being imbalanced inside the small intestine, large intestine means I'm not converting and absorbing, and what I am converting and absorbing may be toxic to my health as it is. So we need to look at that. So when we have a lot of people with the Crohn's, the celiacs, all these different disease factors, which come down to chemicals within the foods itself. So we need to be sourcing our foods appropriately and boosting digestion initially to get it balanced and eating the foods that can help support healthy digestion. Uh, Zinc can be really impacted by chemicals. Wheat anymore, a big part of the wheat is the glyphosate that's sprayed on it. They are not only spraying it on the fields before they're growing it, they're also desiccating it, drying it out with the glyphosate as well. Glyphosate does a lot to alkalize your stomach, change your large intestine, and it can keep you from being able to absorb the things you need for your skin. So you need to, it can reduce your ability to absorb food if your digestion's not, because you're not triggering things properly and things are building up on the gut walls and we're not absorbing anything, which is then going to impact the bacteria. So a lack of absorbing, besides celiacs, I think there's a lot of people who think that they may have celiacs because they're getting buildup on the wall. But if you're eating a food, it's hitting the stomach. The stomach isn't getting acidic enough. You're having then the reflux, which is usually that's your food putrefying, breaking down. It's not the acid from the stomach per se. It's more about the foods that are not digesting. The gas is coming off from then because the stomach isn't sealing itself. So, and that's not happening. And then everything falls into the small intestine. The first chunk of your small intestine is supposed to signal other parts of it to release digestive enzymes, release bile, and continue the breakdown. But if that's not happening, food just falls onto the walls of the intestines. And now the bacteria that are in there are eating off of this, and you may be feeding the bad bacteria due to that. So if you're not having good digestion, you're intentionally, not intentionally, you don't know what's going on. Most people don't know what's going on, but you're helping gunk build up on your walls and inhibiting your body from being able to digest and absorb foods. So again, you're starving, which means you're going to be hungry even more. And now you're going to start craving foods that are easy for the body to get in and get good sugar off of and be able to have energy to move, which then is going to fuel bad bacteria. You're creating a perfect storm for negative things to happen. So then we have to look at the fact that if our digestion's not being triggered, food's building up on the walls, now we're going to have insulin and trying to deal with the sugars, the glucagon, which is telling the body that it has what it needs and use the sugars, not use the sugar, it's going to be impacted. Your ghrelin, your leptin that are created and sent as a signal of I'm hungry, I'm full, they're imbalanced and impacting everything. Your gut wall has feeding bad bacteria. The bad bacteria then are putting out toxins because your bacteria and how they convert things can either provide you with good health or toxins. Those toxins from the bad bacteria clog the thyroid receptors, and now your estrogens are off and causing you to. And estrogen is linked with fats, so you're going to be storing things. So now hormones are impacted. Now metabolism is not functioning properly. We're storing fats. And it's not because I'm getting too much food. It's because I'm not digesting and being able to get the food to maintain good health, to build my muscles, to have the energy I need, to fuel the cells to do what they need to do. So this is all compacting. And then we have inflammation from toxicity that's happening and causing oxidative stress within the body. So but we're thinking if we starve ourselves, it'll all be better, which fasting and not taking in foods can be helpful because it's helping the body to clear up. But if you're not taking care of the bacteria and the gunk it is getting in there and how it's converting, it's a cycle that's never ending. So we've got now from a bad digestive, no metabolism, gaining weight, starving, oxidative stress, and inflammation. We don't have energy. We're craving things that are quick digesting to boost us with energy, drinks that we can take to boost our energy. Most of us are not going for water. We're going for an energy drink that's also impacting our cardiovascular and having negative and robbing us of B vitamins. So we have all these things that are adding to a negative metabolism. And what I want through this blog and video is trying to encourage people the first step to good metabolism is not eat less, move more, get your gut digestion working. Boost your stomach acidity to where it's appropriate. And if that's appropriate and it's just not digestive enzymes, support the digestive enzymes and figure out why the pancreas is not pushing out those digestive enzymes. There can be a lack of zinc that's inhibiting that. There can be gunk building up. There can be an overworking of insulin that's impacting the pancreas itself. If you do not have a gallbladder, you need to be looking at using bile salts. Will you get bile dripping out? Sure. But is it in a concentrated dose that you can get those healthy fats? Mm-mm. So how well you're breaking down your proteins and fats that sustain us to keep us with energy and building the organs and everything that's essential for the body is not happening. You're not breaking down the fats and the proteins themselves. And it's not just I need more fiber in my diet. If you have a gut damage, fiber isn't necessarily going to fix all of that. So the thing I want to encourage to get the metabolism is you actually to get the metabolism fueled and burning more calories. One, you want to actually eat, be able to increase and maximize an increase of calories to your benefit. And then you need to have the right balance of macronutrients appropriate to what your goals are and your movement is. You need to be a lot of people with bodybuilding and people are putting on the muscle mass and really leaning down, which I don't recommend being really lean all the time because it's actually not great for your hormone health, especially for you women out there. But to get that imbalance, people are increasing, flexing calories and then reducing and increasing. This is people consider that carb loading and such. It's not about shaming yourself for wanting carbohydrates. This is about quality, taking away the toxins, getting food and getting digestion appropriate working, and then let's go into balancing out the amount of calories. Really, the best way to keep weight and metabolism in check is, again, to get the body to have muscle mass and to maximize the amount of calories that you can get in and keep and maintain the weight that you want to be at. But by every time you reduce and take away calories, you're slowing the metabolism, because metabolism is about how your body is digesting and converting foods into energy. You get into an anabolic or catabolic states. Anabolic is going to be building. Catabolic is going to be you digesting yourself. We don't want that. And health isn't about being in a starvation mode. We want to optimize, and to optimize your health and your metabolism and your weight, you need to be eating and fueling appropriate and digesting appropriately. So the first and foremost aspect of metabolism is getting your digestion functioning. And for everybody, and why their digestion is off can be a little bit different. But most people can say are having chemicals, or getting trans fats from deep fried foods. They are getting heavily processed foods. They're living off of sugars that are feeding their bacteria to be imbalanced, and it's causing a lot of problems that way. So get your digestion on check. It is one of the simpler things that you can do, and can do massive amounts for your health, because that is where health and disease begins. How you're fueling and getting things into your body, and what you're feeding that body, and the bacteria, and how that process is working through there will make or break your health. So hopefully this is helpful and gives you an insight of metabolism, because I know a lot of people just feel like they just need to reduce their calories because their metabolism slowed, but reducing calories will actually slow the metabolism even more. So you really want to get the digestion working and maximize the amount of calories and how well you can get them in, and then build muscle. Muscle is like a giant sponge for sugar, and will build and thrive and get better with the carbs and such. And you can eat more that way, and it's better to help the bones. It's better for all sorts of things. So that's my recommendation. I hope this is helpful. And if you guys have any questions, hit me up, or go to my website and do a health survey, or come in and see me. Have a great day.